So I finally experienced my first crash with the Gen 2 Lumi. It happened 3 times. Within a span of 5 minutes, I was using the calendar app. Apparently, Onyx doesn't want me to schedule any events on June 1st, 2026. Boox, we got to do better. Let's talk about it. Welcome everybody back to the channel. This is 2530 Media, and of course, I am Aaron Reed. If you guys are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you will be notified of when I release these videos, which I try to do at least once a week. And of course, if you find this information informative, helpful, entertaining, or anything in between, go ahead and hit that like button. So the Boox Go 10.3 Gen 2 Lumi. This tablet has a lot of great things going on for it. We talked about the writing experience, if that was going to be able to compete with what EMR was, since they removed it and replaced it with the capacitive writing tech. And I think we've answered that question. The writing experience is pretty great. The good things: the 4.2 software upgrade that was first available to the Note Air 5C and now is available to your Gen 2 10.3 brought some awesome tools. I mean, some great tools, some tools that made sense, especially with the calendar app, which we're going to get into. But now let's talk about the bad. Boox, we got to do something about this crashing. If you scroll up and down Reddit and check out some YouTube videos here, you'll find out that people are having issues with random crashes on their Gen 2 10.3. I myself experienced some crashes in the calendar app. Like I said earlier, 3 times within the span of 5 minutes. I guess I can't create an event on June 1st. I create events on any other day. Tablet works fine. I haven't experienced any crashes since. I also haven't tried to create another event on June 1st. With that being said, Boox, we need to address the issue of crashing. This is an awesome tablet. The switch from EMR to capacitive was great, and the improvements of the user experience with update 4.2 give us some useful tools. Now we just need to address the crashing. You can't use the tablet if it's crashing every 5 minutes. Now let's talk about the calendar app. Software update 4.2 gave us some great improvements, like I've said before, especially to the calendar app. Before 4.2, the Boox calendar app was just average. It was usable. You could use it to track your day, see your recent reads or recent notes, and you had a memo space to write yourself some notes and email them to you. Outside of that, that was all the functionality you had. Now with update 4.2, you're able to sync to other calendars. You can create events or reminders from your Notes app with the ability to attach files, images, PDFs, or EPUBs to that event that you created for that meeting. So now let's hop into my process of how I'm using the calendar app with the 4.2 update on the Gen 2 10.3. Now let's talk about some of the changes in the calendar app with software update 4.2. We can notice the layout has changed a little bit. Our monthly view calendar has changed along with where our events are placed. Now we can add events, so that space is going to be here in the upper right hand corner. And of course, we have the space for our memo notes. Now this area has changed a little bit. You still get the same grade size for memo notes, but now I have to-dos or reminders. I still have my recent folders that have been open for the day. And of course, you still can see your recent documents, whether they're PDFs or EPUBs. One of the main attractions is going to be this plus button here in the lower right hand corner. This is going to allow us to add events to our calendar app. Now, the cool thing about this is you have the choice to add an event or a reminder. The events that you add will be entries that will reflect on your Onyx calendar that's on the Go 10.3 Gen 2, but also you can sync that to another calendar that you use on other devices. I use the Google Calendar, so that's what we're going to use for today. So let's walk through just creating a test event. First thing we did was label our event. Our next selection is going to be insert. This is going to give you the opportunity to insert a note, an image, a document. So if you have any images you want to insert to associate with this event, you can do that. My use case is normally going to be notes or books. Books is where you're going to find your PDFs or EPUBs. So if you select notes, you can choose which notebook from whatever folders you have on tablet that you would like to insert. And you can insert that as an entire notebook, or you can just go grab specific pages. When you're looking at books, you're going to be able to choose between your EPUBs or PDFs. So you see here I have a couple of PDFs and a lot of EPUBs. Now with your EPUBs, you will not be able to select a certain page. However, if you want to choose a certain page from a PDF, now you can go in just like a notebook and you can select a certain page from a PDF. So for this example, we're going to select a PDF document that I used for a previous meeting. Now I have that PDF document inserted for that meeting. Next, it'll be time of day. We'll just leave the time of day here. However, if you want to change the date, you can go in and you can change whatever date in the future that you want, along with whatever time that meeting is going to take place. You have time zone choices as well. You can set a reminder if you like, along with an alert. If this is going to be a meeting that's going to repeat, you have the ability to choose the range of which you want that meeting to repeat. And of course, you have your account here. You can choose to add it to your Onyx calendar or any linked calendars. So here I have my 2530 Media Gmail account linked. So I decided to choose that calendar. If you want to add any notes, you can go ahead and add some notes. Once you've added all of your information, you simply select OK. Once you select OK, now that meeting is represented here on your events. Now let's see if it's synced to my Google account. So here we have my iPad with my iOS calendar. I have a couple of different calendars linked to my iOS account, including my 2530 Media calendar. So when we look at the 8th, which is today, we're going to find that test meeting that we just created. I'm going to select that. And you'll see here the test meeting that I just created with my notes that we created on the Gen 2 Lumi. Now, if you want to import a calendar to your calendar app on your Boox device, the first thing we're going to do is select our menu icon in the top right-hand side, and we're going to go to import calendar. Once you import calendar, you'll see you have some choices on the left side of the tablet. You'll be able to see which calendars you've already linked. So here's going to be my 2530 Media account that I've linked. If you want to add account, you're going to hit the plus sign. Once you hit the plus sign, it's going to give you the options of accounts you can add. You can add Gmail, Outlook, and CalDAV. Now, I've only linked one calendar because that's all I need to link. I'm not sure the limit on calendars that you can link or sync. We'll try that in another video. But it does seem that you can sync more than one. So it looks like you can sync multiple calendars. How many? I'm not sure yet. Now let's take a look at what you can do with your calendar app in regards to creating events or reminders while using a note. So now we're looking at a note from a meeting that I had this morning. First thing we're going to look at is how you can interact with your note and the calendar app. So I used one of the meeting templates that's in this new template hub that Boox has for us to be able to download some different style templates to use in our notes. So if you see here, I have some information, attendees of the meeting, and I have some quick little notes of what I need to do for this project. One of the things I did was attach a PDF to my note. This PDF is going to be the information that I need to use for the voice acting project. Down here, I have a couple of pieces of information. One is going to be a due date of when I need to have this done, and another one is going to be the actual record date, what date I'm going to record the content. So what we're going to do is with our due date, we're going to set a reminder, and with our recording event, we're going to set it up as an event. So the first thing I'm going to do is just lasso it. So once I've used my smart lasso, this is when I'm going to go grab the icon that's going to allow me to create an event or reminder. Once the recognition has taken place, I get to choose what I want to do. So for this one, we're going to make it a reminder. So it auto-populated the information, due date 4/9/2026. So what I'm going to do here is select the date, and I want this to be April 9th. Now I'm going to select next. I'm going to add a time as well. My time is going to be 1800. Going to select next. From there, I'm going to set a reminder, and I want to be reminded an hour earlier. and it's not going to repeat, but I do want an alert. From there, I'm going to hit OK. Now we've created a reminder for that task. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and create an event for the recording that we're going to do. So now we've done our smart lasso like last time. We're going to go ahead and select the event creation. So it's already on event creation. So if you see here, we have a title 2530 media recording for 4/8/2028 at 8 p.m. It's already going to link to the note. So it already has a link to this meeting note. From there, it's already on April 8th, which is the day I need. And I simply can select the time that I want to do it on. So now that I've selected 8:30, I'm going to hit next. We're going to set a reminder for 30 minutes before, and we're going to set an alert. This is not going to repeat. And for the account, we're going to select 2530 media. We're going to put a note in. And now we're going to hit OK for the creation. Now we've created an event for the recording and a reminder for when I need to email it off. Now let's go hop back to the calendar app and we're going to see what that looks like. So now I'm back on the calendar. The first thing we're going to do is check the reminder. Once I select reminder, here's going to be our first reminder. It's going to tell us due date 4/9/2026. Once you select it, you can see what that reminder is. Due date 4/9/2026 at 6 p.m. If I need to, I can edit it and I can add any more information that I would like to add in this reminder. Once I finish this, so once I email the project off, I simply just check it. And now it moves down to the completed. If I don't want to see all of these reminders that I've completed, I can just simply hide it. So it'll let you know you've completed 13 to-dos already, and it lets me know that I have another to-do waiting. If I want to filter what my to-dos look like, I can go here and I can select all, or I also can select completed to see what all I have completed. Now we're going to check the event that we created. So if you see here, the last event at 2030 is going to be this 2530 media recording. When I select it, it's going to be all of my information that I have here. Same thing like the reminder. If I need to edit this, I can go ahead and hit the edit. And if I need to change the date, time, any other information, I can go ahead and do that. Also, if I need to get back to the note, I have a link back to the note. And that link took me back to the note. So earlier in our test meeting, I created a link to the document that I'm going to be using for the voiceover. So that's what that would look like. I created a link back to the document that is going to be used for the voiceover. Once I created the information in the meeting, I made a link to the note. I made a link to the note to be able to access the information that I'm going to need for the instructions of the voice recording. I also placed a link to the actual script that I need for the recording that I can access through my note. Using this workflow from the calendar app, I was able to not only access the note that I need for the project, but the actual script for the project as well. So that was my workflow with the improved calendar app that Boox gave us with update 4.2. It has a lot of great tools in it. Some of these tools that you're going to find in this calendar app now, you won't find on other platforms. Other platforms have great calendar apps, so don't get me wrong. You can find great calendar apps on a lot of platforms that are out now with e-ink. I just think Boox has taken the top spot in having one of the most functional calendar apps that you can use with e-ink. You're able to attach images, notes, books, or PDFs to your note for your meeting. So if you create a meeting event and you want to have one of those documents attached to it for that event, you can go ahead and throw that in there, as well as links back to the original note that you created that event or that reminder from. The ability to sync to a third-party calendar app of your choice, which right now we only have 3 choices: Google, Outlook, and CalDAV. I'm not sure the amount of calendars that you can add. I'm primarily working from one, which is my primary calendar. Someone in the comments let me know how many calendars you guys have added to your Gen 2 10.3 or your Note Air 5C. I like what they've done, adding the reminders and the ability to add reminders from a note if you want to. And I like the fact they still kept that memo space. So if you're one who used the memo space a lot, well, you still have that space for your use. Now let's talk about some things that Boox can improve on. It doesn't bother me for my workflow. I have one calendar that I have attached, and I don't have a lot of events rolling to that. So I don't mind the events that show up on my calendar. However, there are some people who have workflows where they might have 10 or 15 or even more shared calendars attached to their primary account. How this is working right now is Onyx Boox is going to be syncing to your primary calendar, and it's going to be able to pull in all of those events that you have on that primary calendar. You don't have the ability to sort through certain calendars on tablet. How I manage this is, through Google. I go to my Google Calendar, and that's how I sort out which events that I want shown on my primary calendar, and those are the events that will be shown on my e-ink tablet. So I manage it through Google. You can't manage it through Onyx. There are some users who would like to manage that process through Onyx. I can manage that process through my iOS calendar, but I can't manage that process through my e-ink tablet with Boox. So Boox maybe look into that to give us users the option to be able to manage which calendars that we're seeing that we're pulling from our primary calendar for those who have that use case and need the ability to manage that on tablet instead of on their calendar app. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys think that this new improvement to the calendar app with update 4.2 makes the Boox calendar better than the rest? Or do you think there are other calendar apps or other implementations of calendars on e-ink that still perform better than what Boox has given us? Also in the comments, let me know your workflow with using calendars on e-ink. Do you keep a lot of your work and personal? Maybe just personal. Would you like the option to be able to sort through those calendars that you have shared with you on your primary account on tablet? Or would you just rather do it on your primary account on your computer, laptop, or cell phone? Thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you guys next time.